You know what? Let me tell you something. Some of the most valuable property around doesn't reside on a beachfront in California. It's not in downtown Manhattan. It's not in London. You won't find it in the French Riviera. Nope. Some of the most valuable property you can hope to obtain is a little space inside your prospects' heads. You see, many businesses have to rely on direct response advertising to make money. They need to get the sale right in the moment, or they lose the prospective customer forever. Direct response advertising has its place, and there's a good chance it's part of your overall business strategy as well. That's great. However, if you rely solely on direct response advertising, then you're leaving money on the table and you're not making the most of your traffic. So here's what you need to do to get more traffic and close more sales. You need to establish yourself as an expert in your niche, which is going to help you develop top-of-mind awareness. I mean, just think about this for a second. If some guy walked up to you on the sidewalk and offered you a miracle cure for whatever health problems ail you, would you take him up on it? No way, of course not. For all you know, it's just some crazy homeless guy peddling stale beer in a jar. Or maybe worse. Now, on the flip side, let's suppose you walk into a clinic and your doctor hands you an ointment. Would you use it? Yeah, of course you would. And that's because your doctor is an established expert. He's an authority. You'd probably use the ointment without a second thought or a question. And that's why it's so important for you to establish yourself as an expert or an authority in your niche, as people will follow you without question. It's pretty cool, right? Now, there are two parts to this strategy. The first part is to blanket your niche with content and advertisements so that whenever your prospects are thinking about a niche-related problem, they see you offering a solution. And the second part of this strategy is to be sure that your behavior matches that of a true thought leader. Let's take a look at each of these components separately now. As mentioned, the first component is to blanket your niche with content. Now, earlier in this course, we talked about reaching deep into your market by using multiple advertising venues. This is part of the same overall strategy. Here's the idea behind it. When your prospects search for information or a solution in the niche, you want your name to show up. When your prospects are on other people's sites, you want your advertisements to appear. When people inquire on a forum, social media group, or other platform about a good solution in the niche, you want other people to bring up your name and, of course, your products. So what's the end result here? Not only do you build your brand recognition, but you're also building top-of-mind awareness. When your prospects get enough exposure to your name over time, eventually you'll start to occupy a little space in their head. If you've done a good job with your branding strategy, then this space will be one based on liking, familiarity, and trust. Now play along with me for just a few moments while I demonstrate to you how this works. Okay? I'm going to mention a few words about a type of product or business, and I want you to say the first business name that pops into your head. I don't want you to even really think about it. Just quickly say the first thing that pops into your head. Okay? Are you ready? The first one is fast food. Okay? Chances are a business name like McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever your favorite fast food restaurant just popped into your head. For me, it was McDonald's. Let's try another one. A big online retailer. Got it? For me, it was Amazon. What about you? And another one. A type of smartphone. Do you feel silly shouting out brand names? Another example. Laundry detergent. For me, Tide. And the last one, a fiction author. And on that one, I immediately thought of Stephen King. I'm going to guess it wasn't too hard for you to name products, brand names, or business names that you associate with those things I just mentioned. I'm going to guess, depending on where you live, that we may have even had some of the same answers too. Now, how did these product names start to occupy space inside your head? How did they develop top-of-mind awareness? If you guess someone slipped a computer chip into your mind, well, you're wrong. Sorry. But that's a good guess because, hey, just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean that they're not out to get you. Seriously, though. How did they do it? It's simple. These companies rented space in your head through repeated exposure and positive associations with their brand, business, and products. Now, all you need to do is do the same thing in your niche. You can see why it's so important not to cherry-pick your way through traffic methods by only using a select few. Because the more methods you use, the more likely it is you'll get the exposure you need to develop top-of-mind awareness. So let me remind you of some of the traffic methods you can use. Capturing your exit traffic on a mailing list so that you can follow up with these prospects repeatedly. Creating content and spreading it far and wide in your niche, including sharing it on your blog, having your marketing partners share it, and, of course, posting it on social media. Starting an affiliate program so that you can get as many people as possible promoting your products both online and offline. Using offline traffic methods such as press releases, giving free talks or workshops, purchasing ads in newspapers and magazines, and so on. Starting viral campaigns to get your visitors, prospects, and customers to share your content, especially by using Social Share Monkey to incentivize people to share. Here's a handful more. Starting a referral program so that your existing customers refer their friends to you. Doing guest blogging on busy, respected blogs. You can also write a column for an offline publication. What about participating in trending niche discussions on forums or social media? Or purchasing ads in respected niche newsletters? You can purchase banner ads and text ads on high-traffic sites, and use search engine optimization and pay-per-click marketing to drive traffic from the search engines to your sites. Okay, this is a pretty good list. Not exhaustive, but there's a lot of good ways to drive traffic you can use out there. So here's the point. Specific traffic strategies, like blanketing your niche with content and advertising, accomplish two things. First, the ads and content drive traffic directly to your site. And of course, we can all use more traffic. Secondly, all of this exposure helps develop top-of-mind awareness, which drives traffic to your site over the long run. Once top-of-mind awareness develops, you'll have people visiting your site as soon as they need information or have a problem, even if they didn't specifically see your ad. However, this top-of-mind awareness is really only useful if your prospects fully believe that you're an expert. In other words, they need to know you're the best person to either provide a specific solution that you've created or recommend the best solution that someone else has created. And that brings us to the next point. The second part of this strategy of establishing yourself as an expert in your niche is to exude the characteristics of an authority figure. First, let me be real clear on this. For the purposes of this conversation, I'm assuming that you actually are an expert in your niche, or that you at least have reasonable qualifications to work within this niche. In other words, I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm not saying that you should act like an expert even if you are not one. What I am saying is that if you are an expert, then you need to act like one. You need to act like an authority. You do it right, and people will follow you to the ends of the earth. You'll be like the Pied Piper, putting people under a magical spell so they follow you without question. You see, people like to follow strong leaders. They like confidence. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose you walk up to a guy in a strange city and ask him for directions. He points in the direction you're supposed to go and then tells you exactly how to get there. Go a half mile down this road, take a right onto 2nd Street, and you'll see your destination is about 100 yards down on the left side of the street. Blue building, can't miss it. So what are you going to do? Yeah, you'll trust the guy. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Now let's suppose you stop to ask for directions and some guy said this to you. Okay, let's see. You go down this road about a mile. Wait, no. You go down in this other direction about a mile. Then it's either 2nd or 3rd Street. Well, let's just say it's 2nd Street. Then take a right. Wait, let me think. Is that a right or left? Yeah. No, yeah, right. And you'll find it down there someplace on the right. Tell me, do you trust this second guy's directions? Probably not. And that's because he really didn't seem all that confident in his directions. Kind of sounded like an idiot, actually. All right, let's move on. You see, one characteristic of a good leader is confidence. And that's why the very first thing you need to do is take a look at how you're portraying yourself through your content. This includes videos, text content like articles, as well as live discussions on forums, blogs, or social media. Take a look at your word use. If you're inserting qualifiers into your statements that might make people second-guess your advice, then you won't look confident. For example, listen to this statement. Good nutrition is a key component of any weight loss program. Now, that's a confident statement. Now listen to this statement in contrast. Good nutrition is probably something you should employ if you want to lose weight. Did you catch the difference? The second statement used the word probably, which weakened the assertion that good nutrition is a part of a weight loss program. To my ears, the second statement doesn't sound nearly as confident that good nutrition is important to weight loss, does it? The point is, if you really believe something, then just say it confidently. Don't insert doubt into your readers' and listeners' minds, as they won't view you as a confident leader or even a competent expert, okay? So representing yourself with confidence is one way to help establish yourself as an expert. Let's quickly go over 3 more methods. Another method for establishing yourself as an expert is to associate yourself with other experts. The idea here is to just borrow credibility. Let it rub off on you. When people see your name alongside other experts in the niche, they're going to assume that you're an expert too. For example, if you wrote a book about golf with Tiger Woods, you can be sure that people are going to start associating you as a top golf expert. Or maybe they'll associate you as a womanizer. But in any case, you'll totally get associated with Tiger Woods, and people are going to think that you're on a similar level as he is. Now, you can do the same thing in your niche. And assuming you're associating yourself with good people, then this strategy will help establish you as an expert. So to borrow this sort of credibility in your niche, what you need to do is seek out the reputable experts and start doing joint ventures with them. For example, you can create a product together, or you can do a free webinar together. Do this with a whole bunch of experts and you'll get established extremely fast in your niche, even if you're just breaking into that particular market. The next method for establishing yourself as an expert is to let people interview you. If you're just getting started, you may be interviewing others in your niche, but the problem is only the person who's being interviewed is viewed as the expert. That's why you need to get other people to interview you, which will position you as the expert. And you can do this by offering yourself as an expert for other people's interview series. For example, if there's someone in your niche that does regular interviews with experts on Google Hangouts, Blog Talk Radio, or similar platforms, then offer yourself as a guest. Just be sure to let them know the benefits of bringing you onto their platform. You can also do this offline by offering yourself as a guest on talk radio or even on local TV news. Just get in touch with the producers of these programs to let them know about your expertise and why you'd be a good guest on the show. At a bare minimum, ask a friend to interview you. Then put the interview on your blog, Facebook, YouTube, and other social media. Even this small move helps establish you as an expert. In time, as others interview you too, your status as an expert will only grow. All right, and the third method for establishing yourself as an expert is to demonstrate your expertise. This means that whether you're writing an article for your blog, doing a video for YouTube, doing an interview, or just even engaging in discussion on forums or social media, you should always seek to share content that naturally demonstrates your expertise. You also want to be sure you're behaving in a professional manner. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to transform yourself into some total annoying blowhard. You know what I'm talking about. He's that guy that everybody avoids at parties because he grabs people's elbows and yammers on for an hour about himself. You don't want to be that guy, all right? Instead, don't just tell people you're an expert. Show them. Share with them tips and tricks to help them. Give them information that they're not getting anywhere else. For example, sometimes when people create free lead magnet products, they create something that's not very valuable since they figure they're just giving it away for free anyway. And that is totally the wrong approach. Instead, what you want to do is create something that's extremely valuable. Share some of your best content in this free product. Demonstrate your expertise by solving part of your prospect's problem. When you do this, when you show that you're an expert, you can be sure your product's going to come back to you with cash in hand to purchase your paid products and services. Okay, so in this video, we talked about blanketing your niche with content and establishing yourself as an expert. This strategy leads to more traffic over the short term as you get more exposure, but it also leads to an increase in traffic over the long term as you develop top-of-mind awareness. The great thing is you can put this strategy to work for you starting today. Go show people you're an expert. Just be sure to exude cool, calm confidence. When I was much younger, somebody once told me, walk in like you own the place and they'll give you whatever you want. And wouldn't you believe it? It worked. Think of yourself as the most interesting man in the world. Just don't let your inner wallflower slip out, okay? Next, you'll find out how to get sneezers to infect your niche. Sounds a bit gross, I know, but you're going to love it.